ERP system means Enterprise Resource Planning. It is a software that manages and collects all information in the organization. It collects resources, whether they are different departments, to work on the same platform. There is also a single database to reduce duplicate work and increase efficiency in the organization. Why do we need to implement ERP in the organization? For example, let's talk a little bit about why, when we are doing business, have we ever noticed that we have more projects, more debts, or that our cash flow is not enough, or that we have many other problems, but we cannot manage them? In fact, using digital in the era of information transform in this part, we should use it to increase work efficiency by having a workflow to control internally. There is a system that allows us to manage the work of documents in the system to reduce errors in data that will occur. In fact, if we use ERP well, it is a matter of reducing duplication of having many departments enter data, which in some places may have different software. There is accounting software, and there is another part of the software used for the work. In terms of budgeting, it is another part. Therefore, each person must take rekeying the work. Each department is very repetitive, and we can't see the data in real time. When we use ERP, we provide data as a single source of truth data center. This will allow us to manage data and have security by effectively defining access rights to data. And it is useful for controlling the plan or analyzing the work to increase the quality of the work. One good measure is that, the executives can use reports to meet the analysis needs, whether it's analyzing the organization's liquidity or not. They can analyze the results of the project's operations effectively, and they can follow up on the work every day. This allows our business to expand opportunities. When there is work, we can accept more work because we don't have to worry that we won't be able to manage it. This is the question of why we need to use the ERP system to help the organization.
As for the Mango ERP program, it is also a project management system. This program is designed to meet the needs of projects-based businesses in particular. It connects work, whether it is documents, document approvals, or real-time data verification via the cloud system. This cloud system is quite secure. It can be used anywhere, anytime, and is accepted both domestically and internationally.
Project management, the real important thing is time management. If we can control time or have a clear plan, the course will be one of the things that will follow. If we can't manage time at all, the cost will continue to increase. Or quality, these three things are related. If we work without quality or don't control or plan the work well, there will be a high chance of mistakes. The course will follow. And time, these three things are very related. In terms of project management problems, have you ever thought, why is my cash flow so negative? But you may not have analyzed what we ordered and how we used it. Did we use it on time, or did we order too much that we couldn't manage it in time? That is manpower management. It may seem like there are not enough people or people come in, but there are no supplies or something like that. It is quite difficult to manage for large projects. Or in terms of not planning purchases, which will cause negative cash flow. We need equipment at the end of the project, but we use it first. So if we manage and leave it still without being able to proceed, the cash flow will be negative. Unclear communication. When we order equipment, we order the wrong ones, etc. If we use ERP, it will be much reduced. And the difficulty of cost control. If we don't manage or divide it from the beginning, such as how much of each type we buy or how much budget, it will be very difficult to track or verify later. In project management, we might have to look a little bit. Starting from the estimate, is it easy to find information? Do we look at the price we bought before or look at the finished project? This is the step that we need to have. Focus on starting from the price estimate, resource planning, budget setting, and cost control. From looking at the details smoothly to consider the price and the necessity that we need to know. I know that the documents describing the construction site, we may need to have more details again. Read the rate assessment and check our resources are ready. Something like this may need more details or maybe like the information we have in ERP to look back at. Next is the matter of resource planning. How do we plan so that we can have materials, machinery, and labor costs that are related to the work that we have to monitor? There will be tools to help with these planning matters. Project cost analysis, in fact, we may need to assess first that cash receipts and cash payments will be short, at which point we may need to reserve funds or in terms of interest or other capital that we need to prepare. The fourth part is tracking. If we have good tracking or good control, this will help us save a lot of costs. If we need to increase efficiency in our work, we should have software to help us manage it. Nowadays, there are many software such as BIM, Building Information Modeling. Most of them can use this to estimate, design, and see how far the work is. Or they can manage the use of ERP systems. There are many ERP systems on the market. Workflow image. Mostly, the companies that are project-based will have a flow image like this. There are many parts that need to be involved in the work. The resources that we use can be used in the system. On the same platform, it will be easier to work, starting from the time we bid for the work, or when we open the project and set the budget, in this blue part. As for another part, when we get the project, we should have a plan. Plan the project. What will we start first? What will we have to do first? Whether it's a design plan, a work plan, a plan to find materia, etc. This depends on the process that we need to plan carefully by those who have knowledge. And then in the operation part, the part that needs to be worked on, after the project has been kicked off, the operation department will work on the system, which is all the green parts, whether it's about purchasing requests, hiring requests, approval systems. What is the approval for? It's to check whether the person who made the request is correct, on time, or within the budget. You can use the application to approve. Another part is about non-PO, such as petty cash, which can control the budget. Sometimes we might have the worksite hire a little bit, or there are overhead expenses. We can give them a budget and use it through this. Another part that the worksite needs to use is like checking the work of the contractor, checking the work to see if the contractor is working according to the specifications, and then disperse the work in the system. And in the matter of dispersing, submit progress to the owner. This is a feature that is collected for the work site to use through our system. After we have made a request and it has been approved, the next part will be about purchasing, right?
Yes. In terms of the purchasing department itself, after the APR has been approved, the purchasing department can pull this PR data to do price checks, compare prices to find shops or contractors with the best prices, to open POs, make purchases, etc. And there is a stock system to manage the store, whether it is a size store or a central store. Or if some customers are production workers, we can buy products into the production store and receive finished good.
This is for stock management, or for products that have dead stock. This is where you can monitor them.
Yes, and after we have the matter of receiving the goods, PO, or the withdrawal of petty cash, these three data will be forwarded to the accounting department to do the matter of setting up debt and making payments through the system.
Yes, the system will sync so that no matter what is being done, all departments will be aware of it.
Yes, the receiving side is the same. They issue invoices and then receive money through the system. GL is the closing of financial statements. The executives can see the financial statements in real time.
Yes, you can check every day to see what your current financial status is. You don't have to wait for the accounting department to contact you.
Yes, including asset management. And if customers who do roadwork have their own repair centers, our system will have a maintenance system to keep track of repair history.
Or another way, if we have a lot of assets like cars, We can rent them out to the project to manage the center's income, which we can get from here. Now, after we have done this, we have worked according to this flow. All the data will be sent to the report page of what is called project management. A good ERP system will collect data from various departments, and then it will be displayed on the dashboard so that you can see it. Yes, as mentioned in the flow earlier, when it comes to detailed cost estimation and related matters, we need to use data from the system. Whether we've stored price inquiries in the system, we can retrieve and review them as needed. Or in cases where we've already prepared a bill of quantities, or if we want to review the price history of each supplier or check the prices of individual materials, we can pull those up to use as our cost base for preparing a quotation, then apply a markup before presenting it to the client. This process can be done quickly if we have good data in the system. When it comes to resource planning, it inevitably ties into management, meaning we need tools that allow us to manage and control things effectively. According to our flow, we might start by creating a plan and then have the operations team update it regularly. They can update the progress daily. For example, today's target might be to complete 80%, and the system can show how much was completed yesterday. The numbers will automatically display, and the team can even upload photo updates directly from the field. No need to run around or send updates via line. The data will be recorded in that specific task, showing the current progress, historical data, and overall status. As for quality control, which we touched on earlier, good quality often means we need ongoing inspections to ensure the output meets our standards. And from the management side, project managers, PMs, can view everything clearly, such as where the current progress stands versus the original plan, how much has been disbursed, how much has been submitted to the owner, and how much has been invoiced. Everything on the left-hand side, under the PM section, is what project managers should be monitoring. Planning here is actually very simple. You can use a preset template or easily import a plan from Excel. It's really straightforward. Material planning works the same way. For each task, we can specify what materials are needed and in what quantities. The system will generate a plan showing exactly when materials need to be ordered and when workers are scheduled to be on site. You can easily compare the actual status against the plan, whether the workers showed up as scheduled and whether the materials arrived on time. Daily updates can be done easily, and in fact, the project manager can monitor everything in real time right from the office. The system will automatically update the progress. As soon as someone submits an update, the progress will appear and can be compared against the original plan. You can generate a report like this directly from the system. No need to waste time manually creating Excel files. You can also view a summary to see the status of each project, whether it's completed, facing any issues, delayed, or how far it's gone past the deadline. You can even drill down into the details for further insights. It also allows you to evaluate the performance of each site. No matter which province the project is in, you can monitor everything in real time. Or you can view it in a job control format like this.
And as Pilek just explained earlier, when it comes to updating progress in real time, we've designed a dedicated mobile application. This allows the site team to easily report daily progress, either in terms of percentage completed or actual quantity. They can also log incidents and upload photos or videos directly through the app. The application can be downloaded directly from the App Store or Play Store. Once logged in, users can immediately see which projects they are assigned to. They can see the planned tasks as well as the specific work items that have been assigned to them.
Honestly, without this, if I were a technician, I wouldn't really know how much I'm expected to complete each day. There would be no benchmark to guide me. If there's no plan in place, I wouldn't know how much work I need to get done today or tomorrow. But with a clear plan, it becomes a benchmark. It shows us exactly where we're falling behind and helps us determine how many more workers we need to get the job done. This ensures that the project stays on track and doesn't get delayed. The app also captures the location automatically. So when you take a photo, there's no need to worry. The system can be configured to allow only real-time photos or to permit uploads from the gallery if necessary. In some cases, it's not possible to take live photos. For example, if the work is located up high or in a hard-to-reach area. In such cases, users can take the photo beforehand and upload it later. The system settings can be adjusted accordingly. And in case we need to review past updates, unlike when we send updates via line, where messages keep getting pushed down and lost, this system allows us to go back and view the full history. You can see exactly which days the updates were submitted and what issues were reported.
You can also set up notifications, whether it's via email, through the mobile application, or even through Line. The system allows flexible configuration based on your preferences.
The great thing about this system is that we can allow outsourced teams to register and use it. Another key benefit is that we don't count users. So even if you have workers all across the country, they can still update their tasks through the app. You can assign them specific access rights as outsourced users, then simply provide them with a username and password to log in. For quality control, you can create a checklist form in advance to define what needs to be inspected. When the scheduled time comes, the system will send a reminder notification, and the inspection results can then be submitted to the designated approver.
You can configure QC inspections based on phases or milestones. For example, once a section of work reaches 50% completion, it may trigger the first inspection. You can set it up that way. When the time comes, a notification will be sent through the application. You can assign specific personnel as QC inspectors, and once they receive the alert and see that the work has reached an inspection point, they can go in and perform the check based on the predefined checklist. The inspection result, whether passed or failed, can be saved as a draft first. If you'd like to take before and after photos, the system also supports that. It will then automatically generate a report summarizing all the information. The contractor can sign off on the inspection results if it's handled by them, or if the work is being delivered directly to the client can sign as well. After that, the inspection result can be submitted to the authorized approver for final approval.
We can also link this with the subcontracting process. For example, once we've hired a contractor and their QC inspection passes, we can mark that as approved, and the system will automatically link it to the payment process. This is what we call progress-based payment or milestone-based payment. In addition, the system supports timesheets. You can assign workers to specific projects. Sometimes they may work on 2 or 3 projects in a single day. The system will track their working hours accordingly.
There's also an application for planning and tracking check-in, check-out based on the assigned schedule. It records the number of hours each employee spends at a specific project site and can automatically calculate the labor cost. Those hours will be linked directly to the project as part of its overall cost. If we use the timesheet module, it helps with workforce planning and allows us to allocate salaries accordingly. You can input each person's salary or hourly rate into the system, and it will automatically calculate the labor cost for you.
When it comes to cost analysis and cash flow management, the system provides comparison reports that cover the entire process, from the moment you receive the project to budget setup and purchase costs. For example, if you've issued a purchase or subcontract for 12 million baht under a certain category, the system will track how much has been delivered, how much has been claimed for, and how much is still outstanding. You'll clearly see which items haven't been fully delivered yet, even though they're already budgeted. If there are pending PRs, purchase requests, those will also be shown. And if materials have been received on site but haven't yet been invoiced by accounting, the system will display those as unbooked costs. giving full visibility into what has and hasn't been financially recognized. This makes it much easier to manage your forecasts. For example, MEP, mechanical, electrical, plumbing work, may have specific categories to monitor. Civil work would have its own set, and road work will have BOQs and cost structures relevant to that field. You can also monitor overheads, which are often overlooked. Most people focus only on direct costs, materials, and labor, but forget about site overheads. These can accumulate significantly, especially when projects run over schedule. With the right data, you can view overhead costs on a monthly basis. For instance, if your overhead runs at 300,000 baht per month and your project goes over by 3 months, that's 900,000 baht in extra costs. This helps you identify the causes of budget overruns, whether it's due to poor estimation, lack of control, or delayed execution. The system highlights these overruns in red, making it easy to spot where and why you're losing money, and giving you the ability to take action before it's too late. In terms of financial management, you can monitor your financial status monthly, weekly, or even daily if needed. The system provides real-time financial data in visual formats like graphs, showing your credit status, cash inflows, and cash outflows, making it easy to track and manage your company's financial health. You can also view financial statements, key financial ratios, and various growth rates, all accessible directly from the system. When it comes to revenue forecasting and backlog tracking, you can easily compare the data month by month. The system allows you to see whether each project is billing according to the forecasted budget and how much has actually been invoiced. You'll also need to monitor and track the progress to know exactly where your project currently stands. You can also monitor how much of the BOQ has been ordered compared to the project's original budget. For example, the BOQ values can be shown in orange, while the project budget appears in green, making it easy to visually track and control spending. To prevent overspending, you can set a threshold, say 80% of the budget. Once that point is reached, the system will immediately alert you and show exactly what has already been used. When there are change orders, whether additional work, reductions, or modifications, it often becomes a recurring issue. Especially with VO, variation orders, many companies struggle to claim them at the end of the project. Why? Because the data was not properly collected or categorized, and there was no reliable system in place to track these changes. Without proper documentation, it's difficult to justify or retrieve the details later. That's why it's crucial to have a QS, quantity surveyor, or site staff tracking all the figures. But if your system is well structured, you can easily trace which items were purchased under additional work and then submit claims without missing anything. When it comes to budget management, ongoing monitoring and forecasting are essential throughout the entire project. A good management system allows the project manager, PM, to track how much budget has been used, how much is remaining, and whether any cost category may run short. You can forecast future spending and get a clear picture of the final bottom line. But if the PM doesn't monitor anything and only focuses on the construction progress without analyzing the financial impact, for example, how much has already been spent compared to how much value has actually been delivered, then there's no way to assess the project's true health. Without tools like earned value analysis, you're flying blind. Sometimes you feel like you're doing a lot of work and assume the project must be profitable. But in reality, the debts keep piling up. That's usually because there's no complete or accurate data being collected on actual costs. You think you're making a profit, but the financial statements later reveal a completely different story: massive debt and poor cash flow. And by that point, it's often too late to fix. This part also needs to be monitored continuously. For example, you can click on the green-colored data to view detailed information, such as what has already been purchased, how much was budgeted, and whether the items were fully procured. If there's remaining budget, it could mean you achieved savings, either from better pricing or from using less quantity. You can also manage multiple versions of the budget, like Revise 1, Revise 2, Revise 3, and compare them easily. All the data is available in the system, and you can simply click to view it in detail. In the past, we had to manually track purchases in Excel, like writing down what items we bought and how much was spent. But with this system, there's no need for that anymore. You have all the information at your fingertips, and it's just one click away. Or in cases where we want to monitor progress. For example, we set a plan, but now we want to see how things are actually going. If material purchases are delayed, costs may increase, and that can cause construction progress to slow down. Delays in procurement often lead to delays in the overall project, affecting both timelines and costs. You can also perform a cash flow analysis by category, identifying when each work package is scheduled to start and finish, then using that data to forecast financial needs. You can analyze whether any categories are currently in the red. For example, if the projected income is shown at the top and your current cost status is negative, the system can help highlight which categories are overspending. You can also analyze actual working data month by month to see what expenses have occurred and whether they were matched by billings or payments in the same period. If not, you may consider holding back certain materials or delaying manpower. But of course, materials and labor need to align with one another. As mentioned earlier, everything should be interconnected. Alternatively, we can monitor everything through a dashboard like this, especially for executives. In reality, when you're handling multiple projects, it's impossible to keep track of everything manually without the right tools. PMs may not always be able to update you in real time, so using this application helps you monitor which projects are facing serious cash flow issues. This also allows you to view cash flow by project.
And there's also the application, which helps make the work easier and more convenient.
We focus on making things easy. If people had to input complex data, it would be a burden. That's why we designed the application to let you work anytime, anywhere, right from your mobile device. For example, when it comes to receiving goods, in the past, the process might have to wait until documents reach the accounting department. But now, if users can simply take a photo, upload a bill, or sign off on receipts via the app, the workflow becomes much faster and evaluations become more accurate.
For the app, executives who are out of the office or even abroad can use the Mango application to approve requests right away. No need to wait until they're back at the office. It also helps with project monitoring. Both executives and project managers can track project status in real time through the app or even from an iPad. Importantly, on the construction site, staff can create PRs, purchase requests, directly via the mobile app. They can also request budget disbursements or handle petty cash transactions, all through the app. And as Palek mentioned earlier, the file store feature also supports receiving documents or records, ensuring everything is centralized and easily accessible.
This part is really interesting, the materials request feature in the app. Normally, when managing technicians, you need to plan what they'll be working on the next morning. With this app, you can simply open it and send a request directly to the store to prepare the materials. It's like using Shopee. You can see what items are available in the store, select what you need, specify the quantity, and submit the request. You can choose whether or not it needs approval. Once the store sees the request, they can start preparing the materials right away. Then when you arrive at the store, everything is ready. You just pick up the items and sign to confirm receipt.
And if the stock isn't enough, the storekeeper, or someone like Ek, can immediately see what needs to be purchased. This helps prevent delays because procurement can be planned in advance, all from within the same app.
Exactly. For example, if Eck goes to check what work needs to be done today, or even plans ahead for the next couple of days, he can submit a request in advance. That way, we can immediately see if anything is missing from the store. The app shows current stock levels, so we know right away whether we need to purchase more. Without giving the team access to this tool, we're basically missing out on an essential management system. Mango already provides all these features. For example, asset counting. When the accounting team needs to inspect assets at the site, they can check whether everything is still in place, assess the condition, and see if anything is damaged or broken. Even tools that require calibration can be tracked and scheduled for checks. All of this can be managed through the system.
This is the notification feature. Notifications are sent through the app, and they're also pushed via line. You can even configure which line group receives the alerts based on your setup. The application also supports document receiving. You can review the request form and check any attached files to see what has been submitted. It also lets you verify the cost details. For example, what items were ordered in that particular purchase. For goods receiving, users can take photos of the delivered items, the delivery bill, and any signed documents right from the app. This makes it easy to record what was actually received and keep everything properly documented. For PR, purchase requests, you can pull items directly from the BOQ. Just input the required quantities, and the system will automatically generate and send the request. For subcontractor progress claims, the system pulls data directly from the contract. You can then record the completed work based on the actual percentage of progress made by the subcontractor. For petty cash, whenever cash is used, users can log the expense by entering what it was spent on. They can also take photos of receipts or bills and attach them directly in the system for record keeping.
Or come and add more tomorrow and send it for approval in another 2 days.
We also have a customer service management system for handling repairs and complaints after project handover. Through the application, issues can be reported and assigned to the appropriate team for action. The assigned team can then carry out the work, and the system allows for quality inspection and follow-up to ensure everything is resolved properly.
Mango ERP, one complete system with everything you need to manage your projects like a pro.